Hey guys, Steve here from Coils and Coins Detecting. Welcome to another video. So on this one, what I thought I might do is just demonstrate to you the usefulness of a 6-inch coil. Obviously there are certain situations where the 6-inch coil is much better suited than the larger 11-inch standard coil, or even the 15-inch larger coil. So I've got a couple of sites here in this area around me that I've detected before, and I have found coins here. But they are old dump sites. I'm guessing from the 1940s, 50s, that kind of time frame. And I found quite a bit of stuff here. There's also a lot of broken glass, crockery, that kind of thing. So what I'm going to do is find a couple of good examples of where the 6-inch coil really comes into its own. So I'm going to use the 11-inch coil to begin with, find some areas with a lot of targets and mark them, and then I'll come back with the 6-inch coil and just show how things go there. So stick around, you should see some pretty cool stuff. Back soon. Okay, for settings today, I'm just going to use Park 1, and we're going to pretty much go with standard settings. So I don't want to make this complicated. We're going to go with the same settings for both the 11-inch coil, which I've got on at the moment, and also the 6-inch coil. So we've got a ground balance of 0. Haven't got the headphones on. I might just increase the volume to 22 so it's nice and clear. Threshold 4, target tones of 5. And I'm discriminating everything below 15 today, which is fairly standard. And recovery speed, this is an important one because we're in very trashy areas, so I'm going to give the 11-inch coil every possible chance to separate some targets. We're going to ramp this up to 8, so it has a chance to hear the different targets. And what I'm hoping is that when we use a 6-inch coil, we'll see the difference. Sensitivity, the targets are all pretty shallow. I'm just going to run with 22. Alright, I'm going to go over to one of these spots and I'll show you what I'm talking about with the target density. And yeah, we'll do a bit of swinging with the 11-inch coil in a couple of spots, and then I'll come back with the 6-inch and I'll show you the difference. See you soon. Alright, so you can see here in front of me, there's a bit of crockery, there's a bit of glass, and there's a bit of gravelly stuff around. So if I zoom in a bit, crockery, glass, and there's, you know, just general gravel and signs of a bit of a trash site here. So what we're going to do is I'm going to just wave the 11-inch coil over this. Have a listen. Okay, so there's a lot of targets here, and remember I'm discriminating out below 14, so there probably aren't as many as I could have. If I turn all metal on, so everything's now available, there's obviously loads more targets there now. And in a site like this you really have to swing very slowly. Trying to isolate targets. Okay, potentially something there. Maybe. 22. Maybe a 19 there. So you can see how there's a lot of targets here in this area. If I move down this way a bit, quite a few targets there as well. Now with the 11-inch coil, I'm not going to say it's impossible to pick these out. There's a good one there, possibly, but it's got other stuff around it. I'll turn all metal off. There's a half decent target right there, and the 11-inch has got that in amongst the rubbish, which is a pretty good effort. Remember, I have got recovery speed up pretty high. Let's mark that one so we don't lose it later. I'm just going to put a rock there. So I'll just leave it sticking up like that, so I know that there's a target in that area. And as we go down this way, the targets die off a bit. So this is the busy area right here. which makes sense. That's where all the debris is. Okay, so you know, we picked a couple of targets out there, but not the easiest thing to hear one target because there's so many targets here. It's a bit of a battle with the 11-inch coil. Alright, so what I'll do now is go over to another site nearby and we'll do the same thing. Okay, so I'm in another spot here. Again, a fair bit of glass about and rubbish, general rubbish. And you can hear there quite a few targets in this area. Potentially a good one there. It's just a little bit tricky with the 11-inch to home in on things. There's another target there which might be worth a look. Loads of targets here. Okay, so this just gives you an idea what the 11-inch coil is like. I'm not moving it quickly. It is doing a pretty good job of separating the targets, but I just want to show you the difference between the 6-inch and the 11-inch because there is a fair difference. Alright, so that's another area. A lot of targets here. Okay, there's another area just over there. We'll do the same thing there. So with the 11-inch coil on, I'm in a spot here where there's a few fallen trees, and this is just another thing I want to demonstrate. With the 11-inch, you can investigate these areas, but you know, it's a bit of a battle just getting into these tight spots to try to swing. So even the bigger coil's even harder. So trying to get in and under these logs and around these objects, like you can do it, but it's pretty hard work. Compared to the 6-inch coil, I think it's a lot harder work. You find the targets there without too many troubles if they're there, but just trying to swing around this kind of stuff, it's not easy with the bigger coil. It's much easier with a smaller coil. And around gum trees and things like that, and debris on the ground, there's roots and sticks and all sorts of stuff, and the bigger coil just catches them, so you end up getting caught up in sticks and twigs and things. It's just not that easy. So here's something cool. What's this? Looks like a cup of some sort. It's got a map of Tassie on it, which is where I am, and a lion and a crown. Cool. Might investigate that later and do some research and see what that is. Some sort of little white ceramic cup of some sort. Keep that. Always nice to find out where these things are from and how old they might be. Yeah, back to the point I was trying to make before I got distracted. Yeah, this sort of stuff. This is where the 6-inch coil is brilliant. It makes life so much easier. I just thought I'd demonstrate. And I can see that. That's just a bit of rubbish sitting on the top. But you know, don't get me wrong, the 11-inch coil is awesome and it works very well. It's just in certain environments the 6-inch coil is going to be a better option almost every time. And you can get away with the 11-inch, and you know, you will find stuff. But trying to work in and around trees and in and around bushes and things, I just think that's where the 6-inch really kills it. Anyway, we'll move on and I'll show you something else. I've got a pretty sweet signal here with the 11-inch while I've just been mucking about. Actually, doesn't seem that big, and even like against this tuft of grass I nearly missed it because I couldn't quite get in there, but that's alright, we got onto it. Now let me have a little look at this one, see what we got. Hopefully it's something good. Okay, that might be it there, I think. That could be it there. Bit of rubbish on top. Let's just see if that was it. I'll just check with the detector, I think. Just to see if the signal's still there or not. No. There's another good signal here behind it, but I can see what that is, I think. Oh no, maybe not. Let's investigate this one too while we're at it. quiet. Oh yeah, here we go. What have we got here? Looks like a... I wonder it was giving a good signal. Looks like a lid of something. Could even be the back off a watch or something like that. Actually, it's got some writing on it. Let's see what that is. Says, you can probably see it better than me, Rotherham S. Coventry, patent approved, something or other. And it's got a serrated, like a an edge on it, like a coin actually, like a dimpled edge, and it's got 3 clips on it. Some back off something. I'm thinking a watch, but or a, I don't know. It's not big enough for a fob watch, but it seems quite a bit too big for a normal watch. So I don't know. We'll have a look at that later. Cool. Okay, so I've got all metal enabled here. I just want to show you this spot. You can see all the glass, crockery. Listen to all the signals here. Now trying to home in on those with a 11-inch is not as easy as you might think. Sometimes you're missing targets because there are a lot of targets together. Listen to that. A couple of things there potentially. But I'm going to come back with a 6-inch coil. There's a jawbone of an animal of some sort. So you can see there's stuff just dumped here willy-nilly all over the place. There's loads of signals in here. And a few of those I could definitely pick out with the 11-inch, no problem. But, you know, when there are so many targets, turn all metal off, you can still hear there's quite a bit going on. Anyway, we'll go and get the 6-inch on and we'll have a look at the differences. Alright guys, so I've put the 6-inch coil on and you can see just how much smaller that looks now. One thing I will say is when you swap coils on the Minelab Equinox detectors, you don't need to reset your machine. I know on some machines you do have to reset them and recalibrate them, but you don't have to on the Minelab Equinox at all. You just put the new coil on and go. Probably, I mean, what I do though is I do another noise cancel, just because the smaller or larger size coil, whichever way you're going, obviously will pick up EMI differently, and so it's worth doing another noise cancel if you change coils. But you don't need to reset anything, don't need to start again, you just continue on other than the noise cancel. So now what I'm going to do is come over to this spot. This is the spot I was just at with all those targets. I'm going to put it in all metal and I'm just going to isolate a few targets. Look, it's so easy to isolate targets with this coil, and it's because it's like a handheld pinpointer on steroids, and you've got a discrimination as well. It's just brilliant. You can get in amongst all these spots, you can get right around these little objects like this brick here or a tree. I can get, you know, in and under things. I can really get into tight spots. I can get between these clumps of grass, which I probably couldn't do with the other coil, not that easily, not like right in there. Look, there's a target right there. It's probably rubbish, but the point is I'm right in there. It's a bottle top, but I wouldn't have probably got that with the 11-inch. I might have missed that. That's all right. What's that? An old one. Oh, Kia Aura, it's not that old. So I can immediately tell the difference. I can immediately isolate the targets better. There's a lot of them in this spot. Look how many targets there are here in this little area. But I can home right in on that one. 22, 23 just there. Let's check that out. Alright, crisis averted. Nearly lost me pinpointer. That would have been bad news. Alright, where was that target I just had? Probably lost it now. I think it's down here somewhere. No, not that one. It was a 22, I think, 23. Listen to all those targets. There's a good one. That's probably it. 22, 23, in amongst all those other targets. I was able to easily identify that with the 6-inch coil. and I was straight onto it. So, you know, that just shows you the difference. And like I said, the 11 inch is good, but this makes life so easy compared to that. In an environment like this, it's got its place. The 6 inch, there's no doubt about it. And this is one of them, these real trashy sides. Bolt top. Okay, it's okay. Could have just as easily have been a coin, so that's fine. Not disappointed with that. It picked it out beautifully. Okay, so that's just a demonstration of the 6 inch coil, and this is the kind of place where you want to use it, where you've got obstacles and you've got targets all over the place. So I'm back at that very first spot where we had the 12 inch coil, sorry, the 11 inch coil, and you can hear from that, with all metal on, a lot of targets in here. But if I wanted to pick out one of those iron targets, I actually can. I would have had no hope of doing anything like that with a bigger coil. Not that we're looking for iron, of course, but it's just an example. So what we can do is go in and around things, rocks, bits of grass tufts, trees, like I said, logs, and try and pick out those squeakers. So there's something there. And that sounds really obvious on the little 6 inch coil. You may have heard that on the 11 too, I think, that one. It's obviously something pretty prominent, like a bottle top. Check this spider out. It's pretty cool. He's only little. I've zoomed right in on him. Where'd he go? I won't get too close to him. He's not likely to hurt me, but still, it won't push our luck. Okay, so I've got a target right there. Made it worse. Put it somewhere noisier. Oh, we've got a coin. Oh, look out. I've stirred up a literal ant's nest. Look at those buggers go. They're not happy with me, and fair enough. You know, I better get that coin out of there before all hell breaks loose. Sorry guys, didn't mean to upset you like that. Just cover that back up. That's a bit of fun. Let's get out of here. Oh boy, they weren't happy, were they? I suppose I wouldn't be happy either if I just did that to their home. So you can see, oh, let's zoom out a little bit. You can see how that coil really just homed in on that. Now I think, to be fair, I think I heard that with the 11 inch coil as well, but I definitely heard it with the 6 inch. So we've got a halfpenny, 1941 halfpenny. And I have found a few others in this area too, so it doesn't surprise me that we found another one. But it just, target separation is so much better with the 6 inch coil. This is exactly the type of area you want to use it in. And if you haven't got one, and you're thinking of getting one, I can't rate it high enough. I mean, another place I've used it with great success is on the rocky beaches. In and amongst the rocks, on the waterline up high, you can get right in and around them, into the nooks and crannies. So yeah, really, really good bit of kit to add to your arsenal, along with the standard 11 inch. Let's see how those ants are going. Oh, they've settled down a little bit, but they're still not real happy. I'm glad there's not another coin in there. I don't think I'll be digging it up right now. We'll leave those guys and we'll have a bit more of a look around. Alright, so I was just having a look around this area here and came across this 17, which sounded kind of interesting, and it's almost a sunbaker, almost. It's something quite cool. And this ant doesn't want me to have it either. This is one of those jack jumpers I was telling you about. He's angry. He's having me. He wants to have me. See how they jump? They bloody hurt when they bite you too. And he's just crawled straight over my target. You probably see the back of the button right there. That's what I want to get. Pull that out of there. Let's have a little look at this button. So that was right on top. Oh, cool. HMT. I think that is a I think HMT is the metro, maybe the Hobart Metro or the trams they used to run here. They don't run trams in Hobart anymore, but I think that might be what that is. So I'll check that out further, and I'll put some subtitles down there when I work out what that is. But I'm pretty sure that's something to do with the public transport system in Hobart back in the 40s and 50s. So that is a cool find. Really happy to have found that. HMT, awesome. Let's see what else is here. And this is all in that same area. I haven't really moved very far at all, but I'm just scanning this area with the 6-inch coil, and what I'm doing is just imagining that I'm painting a canvas, trying not to leave any gaps between each stroke of the coil, and that's the general idea, and that way hopefully you maximise your chance of finding cool stuff. We'll see what else is here. I've got a good target here, but I'm in two minds as to whether I should dig it or not, because these ants are everywhere. And I think there's a nest right there. It's a bit scratchy. I think I was thinking I might leave it alone, but have a look at these ants. They're jack jumpers or inchmen, and then, like I said, in Tassie they're pretty nasty, and I think their nest is right there. I think they're going down into it, so yeah, I'm not going to dig that up. Normally I probably would, but I don't want to stir them up too much, because then I won't be able to detect around here at all, because they'll go off their heads and start chasing me down, and I'm going to be running. Don't worry about that. Alright, see what else we can find. Back soon. So this is a real good example of how you can isolate targets with the 6-inch coil. So I've got target there, and I've got one right there next to it, right next to it. Now let me just zoom out. If I had the 11-inch, I may not have been able to separate those. So there's one there, and there's one here. So let's check out what we've got. These are 20 sort of targets, so I don't think they're going to be particularly interesting, but you never know. Alright, so we've got a target there. Not very deep. Okay, we've got a little, what is that? One of them. Some kind of fixing or something. What else have we got here? And the other target that I had was close by. So now what I'm going to do is get the detector again and just have a listen. There it is. It was a 16, not too far away. 16s are bean pull, ring pulls mostly. And I expect that's probably what this is, but we'll check it out just for completeness. Bit of slag this time, but those two targets were right next to each other, and with the 6-inch it was very easy to hear them both separately, so that's a real bonus. Alright, so just working around with the 6-inch coil. Very strong 22, 23, and based on everything else I've been getting that's those numbers and sounds like that, I'm guessing a coin, but you know, there's so many lids and things like that. I'll show you something cool I found. It's another lid, I think. Yeah. Ah well. Another lid, never mind. I found an old nameplate from a gas company. Let's see. Property of number, well, it says HP on there, gas company. So yeah, pretty old. Hobart Gas Company. Old plate of some sort. Not sure how old that is, but kind of cool. Gave a cracking signal, as you can imagine. Oh, let's keep looking. We'll head off pretty soon, I reckon. A couple more targets. Alright, so I'm just about to go. I had a really good signal in here. It was a 2021. Doesn't sound that great now. I have seen what it is, and I thought I'll just show you the sound, the target tones. It sounds like rubbish now, but it's not rubbish. It's something quite cool. I'm not sure. Maybe the angle it's sitting on right now. I'll just locate it again. There we go. So what we've got here is a Australian Army button. It's still got the shank on it, and it's got a little Australian outline on it there. It's not in bad condition. I've seen worse, I've seen better. Let's zoom in a bit. So that was giving a decent target tone before. I'm just interested now to see why it sounded so bad. I'm thinking it was the angle. There we go. Well, that's belting through, isn't it? 32, 33. I was wrong. Thought 22, but it's 32. That's interesting. So if it was upside down, it should still sound the same, I would have thought. Yep. Well, more in a little bit more patchy, but on its side, maybe it just didn't sound as good. I couldn't hardly hear it. I marked it because I knew it was there. Yeah, look at that. Interesting. On its side, I can't even hear it. How about that? Well, I'm guessing that's because the material in the centre is not metal. I don't know. If you know, let me know, because I'm at a bit of a loss. But on its side, doesn't even come up, hardly pick it up. But lying on its front, easily hear it. Anyway, it's a cool find. We found it, and just while I'm at it, a huge shout out to the Coffee Bush Kid, because he is really the guy that put me onto the 6-inch coil. Watching his videos, he is in Central Victoria. He finds some amazing stuff in the old goldfields, old tokens and awesome relics and coins, all sorts of really good stuff. So if you haven't checked out his channel, make sure you do, because he finds some great stuff, and he's a wealth of knowledge as well. And as I say, he put me onto the 6-inch coil because he uses it a lot in these trashy kinds of areas, and just in the goldfields areas as well, because there's a lot of rubbish around, and he finds some amazing stuff. So if you haven't got a 6-inch coil, guys, I would recommend you go get one for sure. Anyway, I'm going to wrap the hunt up. We will catch you on the next video. If you've got something out of this hunt today, please like, subscribe, leave a comment, and I will catch you on the next video. Until then, guys, happy hunting, and I hope you find some cool stuff. See you next time.